This is Finance 6320. Our final project is on Coca-Cola and InBev Anheuser-Busch merger. I am Lauren Carlyle, and my group consists of Brandi Havens, Scott Miller, and Austyn Thweatt. And so what I'm going to do is provide an introduction of our project, and then I will hand it over to my team members who will give some more information on our presentation. So Coca-Cola is, as many of you know, one of the most well-known trademarks in the world. In the most recent years, there has been an industry-wide decline in the consumption of carbonated beverages. Many say this is due to taxes and health concerns, and what this has led to is the Coca-Cola company somewhat plateauing and actually declining in sales and profits over the most recent years. To battle this stagnation, expanding their product offerings and setting out to decrease their operating expenses is what Coca-Cola is really targeting at this time. In the beverage industry, Coca-Cola's peer InBev Anheuser-Busch really offers that expertise and expense control that Coca-Cola is needing to battle this stagnation. InBev Anheuser-Busch also recently purchased SABMiller, which provides endless opportunities to pull Coca-Cola out of their slump. We will go into an in-depth analysis, but I'd like to start by handing it over to Brandi, who will discuss the Coca-Cola company itself and then also the beverage industry.
Thank you, Lauren. My name is Brandi Havens, and I will be covering the company overview as well as the industry overview as it relates to the Coca-Cola Company and others in their sector. The Coca-Cola Company began in 1886 when John Stith Pemberton invented a medication to be used to relieve indigestion and exhaustion. Since those humble beginnings, Coca-Cola has become one of the most lucrative beverage companies in the world. The Coca-Cola Company of today produces over 500 separate beverage options, including 21 billion-dollar brands that currently reach worldwide consumer markets. Over the years, through the company's expansion of beverage options, Coca-Cola has brought in a wide variety of beverages, from sports drinks, coffee and teas, and even juice selections. With the projection of consumer preferences changing from carbonated, sugar-filled options to healthier choices, Coca-Cola shows to be headed in a good direction, with the current product portfolio showing 36% of their beverage options to be of a non-carbonated, healthier option side. Coca-Cola has reached sales totaling $41.83 billion this last fiscal year and came out with a profit of $6.527 billion. The company currently employs people worldwide, totaling approximately 123,000 people, and sells beverages totaling over 1 billion servings a day. When looking at the industry as a whole, the carbonated beverage industry is worth over $341 billion overall in a consumer-based market. The carbonated beverage industry is compiled of two main competitors: Coca-Cola, who is the largest company holding 48.6% of the market, and Pepsi-Cola, who takes 20.5% of the market. The carbonated soft drink production industry involves two independent parts: concentrate producers and bottling, supported by suppliers and retailers. Concentrate producers make the syrup, which has high margins and relatively low overhead, doesn't involve much labor or machinery. Bottlers, who handle making the products and distributing them to retailers, have capital-intense businesses involving production lines, trucks, and labor. Bottlers do make 4 to 5 times the revenue of concentrate producers, but also have 4 to 5 times the cost. There are some major concerns for companies in the beverage industry. They are always striving to find ways to keep their debt-to-income ratios low, keeping their stakeholders happy by continuing to grow and prosper, and keep stock prices up. They're in constant negotiation with bottling and distributing companies to ensure products are up to par and available to the consumers, and they always are looking to be one step ahead of their competitors. As well, as stated before, this industry is one where sales are considered to be 100% consumer-based and are shown to be seasonal to a point. While drinks are bought year-round, spikes in sales do occur based on weather, holidays, and other seasonal factors. Now I'm going to turn the presentation over to Austyn, who will discuss the potential merger that we are considering.
Thank you. Next, we will discuss the details of this deal. The deal is to be a potential merger based on the template of the successful partnership of 3G and Berkshire Hathaway and the Kraft Heinz takeover. The financing will be provided by both of the company's largest investors, 3G Capital and Berkshire Hathaway. 3G Capital is the global investment firm behind the AB InBev and SABMiller deal, and Berkshire Hathaway already owns 9.4% of Coca-Cola shares. Each investor will offer equity investments of $25 billion in exchange for shares. Through the merger, both of the companies will be able to alleviate some of their pains. For example, Coca-Cola's carbonated drink sales have decreased due to health-conscious consumers. Coca-Cola is also looking to tighten up operating costs. Coca-Cola is also wanting to redistribute its bottling operations as a cost savings measure. The bottling operations is a capital-intensive, low-margin business. With the merger in place, Coca-Cola can tighten up operating costs, as this is a specialty of 3G Capital. In the Heinz Kraft takeover, operational efficiency created 22% growth despite 3.7% drop in net sales. Coca-Cola can also integrate bottling operations with AB InBev as they acquired a high volume of bottling distributors through the SABMiller deal, allowing them to handle product distribution. AB InBev has experienced decreased sales due to maturing markets and territories with recessions. They hope to increase their sales through expansion, but can no longer acquire any more beer companies due to monopoly. The merger will allow the company to expand in new territories and can also increase AB InBev's distribution network. The merger brings synergy through marketing gains. It creates a more efficient distribution network, providing both companies stability created by a wider product mix, virtually no redundant brands, and combined efforts in marketing and advertising channels. As I have discussed the pains and gains for both companies, I would like to reiterate that both companies have potential global synergy, producing better performance together than the two could ever do alone. There's tremendous cost savings associated with this, from complementary resources and economies of scale. Due to the massive level of production, the supplies, and ingredients, they would all come at a much cheaper cost. Investors could also see a jump in price, even doubling due to the historic event. And now, here's Scott with more on the analysis.
Thanks, Austyn. I wanted to talk a little bit about the deal structure. Because AB InBev and Coke have similar market caps. AB InBev's pre-merger market cap was $210 billion and Coca-Cola's was $192 billion. It could be modeled after 3G and Berkshire Hathaway's Heinz Kraft merger. The idea with this merger is the stock is divided up 51% for the bidding company and 49% for the target company. One benefit for Coke is that the market cap gets adjusted up to $202 billion for a $9.9 billion premium. A few stats: the exchange ratio for this transaction was 41% for the Coke shareholders. In addition to this stock-for-stock split, Berkshire Hathaway and 3G provided $50 million in financing for shares. This was used as cash payouts at a 28% premium. So Coke investors got about $37 in cash per share, and they also got $80.40 per share in stock. The full deal resulted in total shares from the AB InBev Coke merger to be 3.6 million, and the estimated valuation is $417 billion. The NPV of the deal for AB InBev was $5.08 billion. There was one minor concern, which was that the debt to EBITDA ratio from Coke's perspective raised from 4.22 to 5.7. But considering 3G Company's track record for historically keeping this ratio down to 2 over a 4-year period after a merger leaves little concern in this area. An immediate example of the synergy created from this deal comes in an area of concern that was mentioned earlier in the presentation, which is the $19.8 billion operating loss from bottling investments in 2016, which was even worse the year before. Coke had intended to refranchise all of their worldwide bottling investments by 2020, but they were concerned that they would lose control of their distribution. AB InBev already owns 54% stake in Coca-Cola Bottling Africa, which is one of the investments they had intended on refranchising, which could handle the distribution for the area, which is 40% of the continent. It also results in marketing gains from a solid distribution network, reduced capital costs, and economies of integration of industries with similar capital needs. So in summary, the company of AB InBev and Coca-Cola would create a massive global brand. It would accomplish many of the goals for both companies. It would also create synergies from market gains, which would be realized from revenue enhancement that comes from a greater product mix, a stronger distribution network, and then the combined strengths of the marketing efforts of both companies. Coke would also help realize AB InBev's goals to expand into the non-alcoholic and organic spaces. Cost reduction benefits could be realized from economies of scale, reducing source costs and consolidation of resources like offices and bottling plants. Coke could utilize the efficient management style to accomplish its goals of lowering its operating costs and also ease concerns of the loss of the distribution network. We advise accepting this merger offer with one caveat, which is to have respect for the possible culture clash. Coca-Cola, while it is a global brand, is also an American icon that is associated with the country itself. There might be some concern about plant closures, but bottling plants were set to be refranchised in the United States under the current structure, which would not really be a loss of Coke-related jobs, but Coke would no longer have to foot the bill. Concessions should be made to keep the Atlanta headquarters open in the event of a merger, with the soda brands maybe managed locally in the United States and the beer holdings being managed in Belgium. This is Scott Miller on behalf of Lauren Carlyle, Brandi Havens, Austyn Thweatt, and myself. Thank you for listening.